Even though it felt like watching Monday Night Smackdown with the amount of Raw stars on the show, we did turn out to acknowledge him, the longest reigning Universal Champion ever, Roman Reigns. But this is things you might have missed, and before we get started, make sure you've hit the like button. And if you are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. It's free! We started off SmackDown with the Usos as they introduced the Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns. And I really love the promo video we got, literally documenting Roman Reigns' time as Universal Champion. But of course, it didn't take long for Seth Rollins to come out, obviously the number one contender at the Royal Rumble. But it's what Seth said that broke Twitter. Everyone's talking about it. Mox. He actually called him Mox on WWE TV. They've obviously acknowledged Dean Ambrose in the past, but to actually call him Mox, obviously his name's Jon Moxley, but to call him that is really, really cool. A lot of people now talking about, again, a possible Rumble surprise. Anything is possible in wrestling. We've learnt that over the years. People are reporting it's not happening. No idea, we'll find out at the Royal Rumble. But I'm really pleased WWE are acknowledging other wrestling companies. That's cool. But it was, of course, Roman and the Usos who were challenged. Technically, the Usos for the main event of SmackDown. And the fun thing was, of course, Seth had to find a tag team partner. And he knows someone who could. And, of course, it was accepted. And Owens doing the Seth Rollins dance, absolutely priceless. But something you might have missed in this segment, when Roman stood in the ring and wanted the mic, Jimmy was busy showboating. The look on Roman's face was one of annoyance that Jimmy didn't just hand him the mic immediately. Is this another seed planted? They kind of gave up with the story of Jimmy and Roman a long time ago, but maybe they're planting the seeds to restart that going forward. Maybe Jimmy, Roman, the bloodline breaking up is on that road to WrestleMania. Something to keep an eye open on. Normally it's Paul Heyman that hands the mic. Now it's Jimmy, and he got it wrong. That could be a frustrating factor for the Tribal Chief. WWE 2K22 revealed everything yesterday, and of course Rey Mysterio is the cover star. Good news, Alexa Bliss is in the game, and so is Lily. On the trailer, you actually witnessed Roman Reigns stealing Drew McIntyre's sword, which I thought was absolutely hilarious. And not only that, we've seen backstage makings of the trailer, which I thought was really cool. And the animations, the gameplay, look at these. They look so freaking realistic. I love it. But of course, everyone's talking about this Becky picture because in the ring, that does look like Bayley. Honestly, it looks stunning. Obviously, we got the reveal of the Steelbook, if you want that version. Of course, look at the cover of that. Rey Mysterio is perfect for this. And of course, he is in the showcase this year. And of course, matches with Eddie Guerrero, Shawn Michaels, and The Undertaker. Sounds pretty cool. Talking of Undertaker, there is an Undertaker Immortal Pack. 3 versions of him. And then don't forget, Paul Heyman. Literally can't drive a golf cart to save his life. I love that so much. And of course, this guy nearly got his foot run over in the trailer. I thought that was hilarious. I'm sure a lot of you did spot that, but I had to include it. Honestly, I am hyped for this game. Let me know, is 2K22 something you're excited for? I definitely am. We can all sleep easy tonight because it happened. With his dictionary as a friend, Pat McAfee made Michael Cole laugh. On air, on screen, Michael tried really hard. He tried, but Pat never changed. I absolutely love this duo on commentary. This is basically the modern day JR and Jerry the King Lawler. And honestly, don't ever replace them. Don't change them up. They don't need to be. They're great. Summer Rae was actually in the audience for SmackDown this week, which was kind of cool. We haven't seen Summer Rae for a long time. She will be in the Royal Rumble. Obviously, she was shown just before the Aliyah Natalya match. They made a huge deal out about Aliyah beating Natalya last week in 3.17 seconds. But of course, it was Natalya who got disqualified. Aliyah wins again. Natalya with a beatdown. And Xia Li came out to make the save. I love Xia Li. Honestly, it's been a few weeks, but everyone who was concerned about where is Xia Li, well, she didn't go very far. They just seemingly postponed her first feud. And I like that, because if you push Xia Li, you have to forget about Aliyah and take Aliyah out of that role. And actually, calling Aliyah up and then doing nothing with her doesn't do her justice. So this is at least a cool way to put both on TV. Now, obviously, earlier on this week, we spoke about Mustafa Ali and the fact he'd requested his release from the WWE. There is news today and yesterday that WWE is not going to be granting Mustafa Ali's release. Now, I'm not all too happy about that. I think if someone wants to go, they should be allowed to. However, it is part of the contracts and WWE can choose to do this. But this is where WWE need to prove that they can be good and now use him. Actually listen to him and put him on TV and allow him to deliver his message. The Viking Raiders are once again in action this week, and this was really cool. I had to mention this. Eric from the Viking Raiders literally holding both Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo like that. Oh my God, the strength of the man. What a way to highlight the Viking Raiders. Love it. Nice easy win for the Vikings this week. Obviously, they are the Smackdown tag #1 contenders, so they're going to continue that push, and it's great to see them getting the push on WWE TV. Eric Bischoff, once again on WWE this week, on SmackDown this time. And of course, WWE Shop already have a 90s version of the WCW Heavyweight Championship belt available. I love that belt. But we do have to talk about this. Oh boy. Sami Zayn's insane. And of course, he had cattle prod. He was shocking himself. And of course, no, it was not real at all. Johnny Knoxville come out. And this is what saved it for me. They made fun of it. They actually said it wasn't on. Okay, the last one where it was meant to be on was actually probably the worst shock of all. But I can understand why WWE wouldn't want to hit someone with a livestock shocker thing on live television. I can kind of understand why that wouldn't be a thing. However, there was news yesterday that came out that Sami Zayn has re-signed with the WWE. And you gotta believe, if he hadn't signed, I'm sure Vince McMahon would have told Johnny Knoxville to turn that shocker on. And Jeff Jarrett was also backstage. What's with people making cameos tonight? Honestly. But you gotta think, this is Royal Rumble season. If Jeff Jarrett's floating around, yes, SmackDown was in his hometown. But could Jeff Jarrett make a Royal Rumble appearance? We know he can still wrestle, so potentially, maybe. Would you want to see Jarrett in the Royal Rumble match? Now, I wasn't going to talk about this, but so many people asked me to. I got loads of DMs. I totally missed this, but Seth and Owens was talking, and Seth mentioned that Kevin Owens was undergoing therapy. Who do we know who's currently doing therapy? I don't think this is going to lead to anything. I think it's just one of those weird things you say, but potentially it's got legs, and potentially with Seth's history with the Fiend, it is worth remembering. Speaking of the Fiend, Elite Series 92, which stars Bray Wyatt as the Burnt Fiend, is available now on ringsidecollectibles.com. Sonya Deville once again screwed Naomi, and we found out that next week we're likely to get Sonya Deville versus Naomi, so hopefully a payoff from this storyline. And then we got the main event match, the tag match. And of course, interestingly, once again, during the match, Pat McAfee did indeed again say Mox. This cannot be a coincidence. They've always referred to him as Dean or Ambrose. Now they're calling him Mox multiple times. With Seth, you could say maybe it was just a slip of the tongue. Maybe, he's not scripted, that's why. But Pat would be interesting to say it twice on one show. It was, of course, Seth and Owens that won, but only because Roman Reigns Superman punched Seth Rollins. And I like this. The Tribal Chief knew the consequences. He knows the Usos are now banned from ringside, and he doesn't care. He wanted to make a statement. But I gotta admit, watching babyface drip god Seth freaking Rollins was really, really cool. The crowd singing his theme song was just amazing. Great way to end SmackDown. I honestly love SmackDown this week. Honestly, 9 out of 10, and I'm not being generous. There was legends. There was big moments. Ridge Holland was on the show. Xia Li got a moment. So, definitely cool. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Peace!